What is going on, everybody? It's your boy ForexFunded coming at you with yet another weekly analysis for this upcoming week, April 5th, 2026. As always, links will be in the description. Join the chart analysis, check out the Instagram, like, subscribe, comment, share it on Pornhub. I don't care what you do. So, let's get ourselves a. Let's get rid of some of this stuff and let's just, start talking. So, I'll start on weekly. Why not? Weekly, good close if you want me to be honest. Reason I say that is we have this massive. Let me get rid of the range points. We have the massive, not massive, but a big rejection candle on our weekly, and then we ended up closing bullish above it. So that's some good. That's a good sign. As far as daily candles go, Thursday. This is Thursday candle because obviously Friday market was closed. Good Friday. Happy Easter, by the way, if you guys celebrate that. A good rejection candle on Thursday. However, there is a bunch of news that dropped. Like on Friday, we had NFP and stuff. Where is it? Friday, we had NFP. This is a very big deviation, right? So that is at itself, at just face value, that's bearish for gold. But I mean, it happened over the week, basically happened over the weekend. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. In case you didn't watch the last analysis video, we were expecting bullish last week. Reason being is I was mentioning to you guys how they probably want to start some pullback towards either one of these fibs. I thought they were both very good fibs. So let's just take a look at where we are. So in terms of the shorter fib, we rejected 61 area. We didn't touch 61. I mean, we might have if I get it perfect. It doesn't look like we touched 61 though. And then in terms of the larger term, the larger fib, we are at our 50 area and we haven't broken above that 50 by a lot, right? And by a lot, I mean more than half. So if you take to make it easy, a square, and that will tell you half is right there. That's about 48.36. If you break above half, you can almost always assume that they want to touch the next fib, right? So for now, that could be sufficient enough pullback for them if they wanted to expedite things back down. I don't think that's going to happen. Just the way the price action has been, it doesn't seem like that. But who knows? We also are at our daily EMAs, which did have that cross. So this will be that cross, that retest, and a resumption. So we could see further downside this week. One other thing to take note. So while we're here, you can just see what the boxes are. So we have our 61 box, we have our 61 box, our 7-8, and our 7-8. So now we can get rid of those fibs because they're fucking annoying. This box is an inverse fib. We'll get to that though. Here on 4 hour, we can see, so you'll see the very good bullish structure from last week and the week before on 1 hour, but 4 hour, you can still see it, right? You're making highs, higher lows, higher highs, which the way I look at it, this is your higher low, meaning we are still in the bullish structure. To me, there's no pullback area to establish a higher low after the high is broken. So that's still bullish structure. I believe it bounced from around 78%. I'm going to have to take a look though. I think it broke 78, but then it's still closed above it and yeah, okay. So it did break 78 as I mentioned, but then we used 78 as support resistance. That is that fib extension I was talking about that is highlighted in a box. So look, in terms of 4 hour, good bullish push, right? Now while we're here, I will just say that if they wanted to start dumping price, the first places I would see would be this 61 zone, the 78 zone, and then I would pull my fib to the overall, and then you already have 50 covered because 50 is also that 78. I would say 61, and that's a big fucking box. I would say 61 and 78. So, like I say, I'm not over here trying to pick exactly what price is going to dump to, right? Those would be profit taking targets if I get into a sell. if we come to those zones and you get some sort of reaction, for instance, say we come down here, we get a reaction, you start building price, then it's already a level, right? That's how I look at my levels. Hourly is, like I say, where you see that very good bullish structure. So over here, we were just making highs, pulling back to fib, making highs, pulling back to fib. I can show you some of the positions we took. So that is very, very simple, right? From your low to your high, you have your 50 and 61 respect. From those lows to your highs, this one's a little bit more difficult, but you had a 78 respect, and then on the lower time frame, that's where you see the price starting to take over. So you would have got, oh, it's over here. You would have waited for that big volume candle, right? But I'm not gonna do every single one, but that's what we had, and that's what I'm talking about. A perfect bullish structure. And even then, even on a 1 hour, it's not just 4 hour. The way I look at it is none of these lows over here. So like this low, this low, this low, those are internal lows. But for me, the structure, that is the low, because none of those highs gave us a 50% or better pullback, right? So that is why I say that is the swing low. I don't know, maybe that helps you guys understand how you look out for them. And here we can see that from, if we pull that fib back up, that you see that 78. You see that 78 respect, a double bottom at 78. You broke higher, right? So you established this as a lower high. You came back, you broke it, you use that as support. I was looking on Thursday to get into buys right below this level, right? Just from our low to our high. I was looking for a 50% tag. We weren't able to get that. That's fine, right? So what I'm basically saying going forward is we really need to see what happens with the open, because that could fuck the analysis for the week, because it's probably going to be a pretty big gap. It's probably going to gap us above 46.99 or below 46.42, and then from there you can try to trade the retest, right? That is my guess, my best guess for what's going to happen at the open. But even then, I could definitely see price open down, come up, and then form the same bullish structure. And then the same thing, I could see the same thing happen with bull. I could see it open bull, but then come down and form structure, So we really need to see what happens with the open. It would be a lot more clear for me if, there wasn't all this stuff that happened basically, quote unquote, the weekend, like NFP, and that's a pretty big deviation on NFP. But that's really all I've got for you guys. You guys have my targets for my bearish view, and then bullish view we have, and then it's all just about following the trend, seeing what happens. As I mentioned, if it's clean, if we do get below here, you should look for a retest and a sell. If it's bullish and you get above, you should look for a retest and sells. And even if you don't get a retest, just pull out a fib, right? For now, depending on how it looks, I would be still using that low as a fib. So maybe you come a bit lower. Who knows? Like, I don't know what price is gonna do, but when price does its thing, it's a lot easier for you to figure out your next move. And if it's horrible for you to figure out your next move, if you can't do that, then that's exactly why you need to join the chart analysis. Hope y'all have a wonderful week.